Honored guests, dear friends, I'm proud to bring Greenlandic perspective to this summit. Greenland may be small in population, but we are the world's largest island in the middle of the Arctic, and not least a strong Arctic democracy. Greenland is a part of the Western Alliance, and we are part of the global community of democracies, and our voice matters. Therefore, a special thank you to this summit for making space for smaller nations and indigenous people on this stage. The international rules-based order was created to protect small countries from being treated like bargaining chips by larger powers. That order must be respected. It protects us all. We want cooperation with our partners, but only when it respects our sovereignty, our laws, and our way of life. Because Greenland is not a property to be claimed. Greenland is not just a place with minerals and with a good strategic location. It is home of Kadaallit, an indigenous people with a unique and strong culture, language, and identity. We are open for business, yes, but not at any cost, and not with partners who do not see us as equals. Greenlanders want sustainable growth and responsible use of our natural resources, but it must be done in the way that protects our land and sea, and at a base that our people accept. We are a pro-mining nation, but we have said no to uranium mining. That decision reflected the will of our people, and it must be respected. We have good partnerships with many countries. Strong partnerships are important for Greenland's long-term goal to be independent. And therefore, it is more than necessary to maintain and create strong partnerships with like-minded nations. It may also be time to ask how we, all of us, can adapt to new world order and respond to current needs. Because good friends modernize their agreements and work together constructively. Good friends maintain a constructive and respectful dialogue. And I believe that we, who defend and value democracy, can do it, become even stronger despite the great challenges we are experiencing in these times. Lastly, let me say, Greenland wants peace and stability. We want dialogue, not pressure. We want to be treated with respect, not as something to be discussed without us. Nothing about us without us. Because freedom and equality are the same for both small and large nations, because under democracy, we are all equal. We have freedom. We must all stand together to defend that, but not least listen to each other. That is the only way we can defend and develop democracy in new world order. Koyanak. Thank you.
Thank you, Finance Minister. Is my mic on? Yes, it is. Okay, we're going to take a seat right here. I can sit on that side. Thank you very much. Start with the obvious and the United States interest in Greenland. I want to start with a bit of a teasing question. Do you think Trump has lost interest in Greenland, or has he forgotten about?
No.
No. Okay. Why do you think he's still focused on Greenland?
As I said, we are in the middle of the Arctic. We always known that Greenland have a strategical important place, and I think it's one of the main reasons to the interest from Americans. It have always been there.
Right.
But I think the way to talk about Greenland has changed with the new president, and the way he talks about. I think it's unacceptable that way. He don't have respect for the Greenlandic people,
Right.
because we have always valued the partnerships with the United States. We had this partnership now almost in 80 years.
Right.
They have a strategical, really important base in Pituffik in northern part of Greenland, and I believe we have a really good partnerships. But the way he do it now, I don't like it. The Greenlandic people don't like it the way he do it. If he come and not with respect and want to talk with us and want more partnership and cooperation, we are open for it because we have always open for business and so on with our like-minded nations. And Greenland will always be a part of the Western Alliance.
Right.
And with that reason, we're just ready to cooperate, but with not that way he wants to do.
Right, right. So you'd welcome a visit from President Trump himself.
From United States, we our
Welcome.
the former government, when I was prime minister, we had a visit from the Secretary of State, Antony
Right.
Blinken, at this time for 4 years ago. And it was a very good meeting, I think. And I think if we can have the respect for each other, we are ready to talk with the Americans.
Right. So I said he lost interest. I saw just reading up here that he'd said something just a week ago about Greenland being a very small number of people, but we're going to take great care for them. That's the sort of tone that you don't like so much, perhaps.
I don't like the way.
I don't like the way he's talking about it. Have you been able, I mean, we've had a visit from the vice president, lots of headlines and news. Are you closer to understanding what the United States really wants in Greenland? What specifically are they after?
It changed the last 4 months, 5 months. The reason it changes a little bit. Sometimes it's the strategical position of Greenland and the security of North America,
Right.
And the Western Alliance. Sometimes it's they talk about the critical minerals.
Right.
So it changed, but I think it's a mix of it.
It's a mix of those things. But the objective is always the same. We have to have the whole island and have it be loyal to the United States. Yeah.
Sorry?
No, that it would be, the deal is that they want the whole island of Greenland to...
We are not a property.
Right.
Greenland, the Greenland belongs to the Greenlandic people, and
Right.
it will always belong to the Greenlandic people. And if they want some cooperation or partnership, they need to change the tone of talk about us.
Do you ever have a chance to have conversations that are not in the news with members of the U.S. administration about this and away from the limelight?
There have been some, but there was a meeting with the Danish Minister of Foreign Affairs and our Minister of Foreign Affairs with Rubio back in, I think it was in February, but there are some diplomatic conversation, of course, between our countries, with the Greenland, Denmark, and the United States.
Right, right. And there is a security arrangement between Greenland and the United States that goes back quite far. What is your sense? What's missing from this deal? Because they have a military base. They used to have several more in Greenland. What more do they want in terms of presence or exploitation rights? What do these you want?
I think the biggest thing who's missing for the agreement between the United States and Denmark from 1951, the defense agreement, that we need to have the Greenlandic signature. for this agreement. I think from that, the Americans will also understand that Greenland will be a part of, always be a part of the Western Alliance, and of course, with Greenland is a part of the North American continent, and of course, we will always be a part of it and protect it because the American security is the security for Greenland and so on. Our security is their security, and our security is a security for all the Western Alliance. So we know that, and but just give us respect.
Absolutely. Now, this whole situation with Trump has also had an effect on politics inside Greenland, if I'm not mistaken. You had a number of visits from Denmark, a renewed interest from Denmark, a visit from the Prime Minister, even visit from the King. Do you think that the interest from Trump has brought the Greenlandic people closer, perhaps, to Denmark, or how is it?
Maybe to Denmark, but also to EU. I think before that we have interest to have more cooperation with the United States. We still have it, but not the way the president want. But we also have some problems between the construction in the Kingdom of Denmark. So after the interest starting from the president, the talks have been a little bit easier between Greenland and Denmark. We try to find some solutions, I think. But I also think that the people of Greenland want stability.
Right.
They don't want to know that maybe there will come a U.S. military on the way, but they want to have stability and live their lives in peacefully.
And we're here in Copenhagen. What are the Greenlandic asks? What are the requests for Denmark in terms of improving the relationship between Greenland and Denmark?
It's equality.
Okay.
That's so clear.
Yeah. Okay.
Equality
the same
and
rights
respect.
as for Danish citizens, or what? What would that mean in practice? What is it?
I think the constructions in the kingdom right now gives us can give us some problems sometimes. But I think in this time we need to understand each other, listen to each other, and try to find the best solutions for all.
Right. Yep. Okay. So are the Greenlandic people asking for more rights, perhaps more investment from Denmark into Greenland?
More rights, more investment. We also want it from other like-minded nations, especially EU.
Right.
We made in my government, we made a memorandum of understanding for the critical minerals, because we have 27 of 35 critical minerals EU want.
Right.
And we have a strong partnership we have built up in many years now. So I think, but there have been too much blah, blah, blah. We need to see some action, more investment. We want growth sustainable growth in our community, in our country. So if we want that, if EU want the critical minerals, or if US want our critical minerals, they need to talk with us, treat us with respect, and made some investment in our country.
Absolutely, yeah. But Greenland left the European Union, if I'm not mistaken. So tell us a little bit about that sort of very first Grexit from that we may all have forgotten. Why did Greenland leave, and where do you stand now? Are you more favorable to the European Union?
I think if you see, we are around 57,000 inhabitants in Greenland, and in Brussels, in the main office, there's 35,000 who works there.
At the European
So there's
Commission,
a lot of relatives. So I don't think a membership in EU will be the best, but updated partnership, stronger partnership between Greenland and EU is one we want from our government. I think in these times we need to strengthen our cooperation and our partnerships. We need each other in these times.
Do you think the Greenlandic people want to do more to exploit the mineral wealth of Greenland, to profit from that, to benefit from that for all the people there?
Yeah, I think the most of the people want it, but on the way they can adapt, and in the way if it's sustainable. I know the mining can not be as sustainable as maybe we think, but if we can do it with respect for our nature, because we always have been lived with our nature in Greenland in many thousand years, and lived with the nature, and our fisheries is our main export product. Around 97% of our export is from fish, so from fishing industry. So we want to diversify our economy, and the one of main sectors is the mining industry. We want to develop, and the same with the tourism.
Right. And do you get a sense, since all this stuff with Trump, that who might be a sort of favored partner for Greenland? If you had a choice between the United States or with the European Union, where do you feel sentiment is leaning there in terms of exploiting that wealth and doing it in a sustainable way?
I think a stronger partnership with the EU will be really good.
Okay.
But we also need US. Even if there are a new administration after the Trump period, we still need the US and the Western alliances. So I will say that what we need to have a stronger partnership is all the Western alliances, the countries from this alliance, to develop our democracy, our country, to our future.
So you had a visit from the Vice President of the United States. How about a visit from a senior EU official? We had Kaja Kallas here the other day. Would you invite her to come to Greenland and have
They
a look
are
for herself?
always welcome in Greenland. We have von der Leyen last year to open the new office of EU in Nuuk, our capital. So more of that, we are ready. But as I said, we don't need blah, blah, blah. We need action. We need to see some results from our partnerships. So I think we need to don't have it only in paper. We need to see in action that our partners make investment in Greenland and so on.
So what would that mean? That would be we talked a lot about the minerals deal between the United States and Ukraine recently. That started as a piece of paper and a negotiation. Are you in that kind of process with either partner of talking about a kind of mineral exploitation deal?
Yeah, it has been the main reasons that we made in the memorandum of understanding with EU about the minerals.
Right.
It was to take next steps to have in our partnership. But we don't want it only in papers. We also want to see the action.
It's at the blah, blah stage. Okay, great. Well, Finance Minister, thank you very much for this chat. It was interesting to meet you. And I'm going to welcome Jean Meservey onto stage for our next panel, which is about the United States' role on the world stage. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.